Hello everyone, my name is Gina and today I have a ginormous book haul for you. Yay! So it's the end of February, first book haul of 2015. I've got 29 books to show you guys. Yeah, Project TBR ain't going so well. So if you've been following up with my videos since, the beginning of the year, you know that I've been on a book buying ban until I read 10 books that I own. Now, I have read 15 books so far this year. Let me count up how many of those I actually own, because I have gotten some of them from the library. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10! Alright, so, technically, the book buying ban is complete. I have read 15 books this year. 5 of those books have come from the library. The other 10 are books that I own. However, pretty sure I bought most of these before that buying ban was up, but it's okay. Some of them, I found loopholes for, and then there was a book fair. The majority of these books come from the book fair, so since I've got so many, I'm just going to jump right into it. So these first 4 books that I'm going to show you are kind of my loophole books. So the first I have is Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. I've done a video on this, I think. I believe this was in my January wrap-up. I have done a video on this, I just haven't posted it. I don't know. Anyway, I bought this because I didn't know that this existed. Cats is one of my favorite musicals, and the musical is based off of this book, so I just had to buy it. So that was my loophole for this book. The next book, well, not the next book that I got, but the next book I have to show you is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. My loophole with this was because I had initially planned on buying this as soon as it came out on paperback either way. So that was my loophole in buying this, because I do have Divergent. It's over there somewhere. Yeah, right there. And I still haven't read them, and I need to read them. The next book is another kind of loophole. I said that I was going to buy this when it came out, no matter what, and that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer. And this is the novella, the 4th book of the Lunar Chronicle series. I have read Cinder, and I do have, well, Scarlet's in the other room, but I do have Scarlet and Cress as well, so it just made sense to buy it when it came out, might as well, to finish out the collection. I will be getting Winter when it comes out as well. So the next loophole was because it was on the bargain bin, and I've wanted this book since it came out because I just have, and that is Dad is Fat by Jim Gaffigan. I love Jim Gaffigan. He's a hilarious comedian. I was so excited when I saw this on the bargain shelf because I would much rather pay $7 for it than $28. So that is why I bought this within the loophole, because you never know when it's going to go off the bargain bin, right? Right. These next books are books 1, 3, 4, and 5 of the series of Unfortunate Events. So that is The Bad Beginning, book 1, The Wide Window, book 3, The Miserable Mill, book 4, and The Austere Academy, which is book 5. Now you may be asking, but where's book 2? I already own book 2. I thought I owned books 1, 2, and 3. I could only find book 2. And it's in paperback. So eventually I probably will be buying book 2 just to have them all in hardback, but that's that. So the next 2 books I got were also kind of loophole-y, but also kind of not. I got these books this month, and there were reasons behind them. So the first is Left Neglected by Lisa Genova. I had to pick this up when I saw it because we went to this little indie bookstore and I just saw this book, and I didn't even know Lisa Genova had another book out. I absolutely loved Still Alice. If you've seen my video on that, then you know how much I loved Still Alice. So I bought this automatically. It sounds really good, and I can't wait to read it. And the next book that I got from that little bookstore, Ed Sheeran's book, A Visual Journey. So excited for this. This is just essentially a book about Ed Sheeran's, life to stardom and whatnot. So Ed Sheeran wrote this book, and one of his good friends, Philip Buta, I believe is how you pronounce it, did all of the illustrations in it. So if you can see, there's like a ton of pictures in this book. and they're all drawings or photos that his friend Philip took or drew. I absolutely love Ed Sheeran. When I saw this, I just had to have it, and the friend that I was with actually saw this first, which I don't know how. It was sitting just like this, so I don't know how I passed up a giant green book. I don't know, but she pointed out and was like, Gina, did you not see this? And I was like, oh my god. So I had to buy it. I just had to. Alright, these next 3 books I got from Book Outlet during their President's Day sale, so I guess kind of technically my book buying ban was already done. I just wasn't aware of it yet. Kind of. We'll go with that. But I got 3 books from the President's Day sale from Book Outlet, and actually these 3 books weren't part of the 30% off on President's Day, but I had the $5 off coupon, so it works. And I got Beastly by Alex Flynn. I love the movie, and I figured why not give it a shot. And then the next 2 books I got were What Janie Found and The Voice on the Radio by Caroline B. Cooney. These are books 3 and 4 of the Face on the Milk Carton series by Caroline B. Cooney. I don't know if you can really see, but I have books 1 and 2 over there, which I got on another Book Outlet sale. So I'm collecting these, apparently. I'll get to them eventually. And now for the big part of the haul. My ginormous book fair haul. I got 17 books at this book fair. It was a good book fair. So just get into it. The first book I have to show you is Cannibal Killers, Monsters with an Appetite for Murder and a Taste for Human Flesh by Chloe Castledon, I believe is how you pronounce it. I got this because it just sounds kind of cool. It is a memoir, true crime kind of book, and from what I gather it goes through various cases of like famous cannibal killers, which it sounds really interesting, and it was like $1, so I picked it up. The next book is this kind of version of the Canterbury Tales. Again, I don't know, I don't have a copy of the Canterbury Tales, so I figured why not? It was a book fair, everything was cheap. Now, note, I did get these 17 books for like $12, so a couple of the books were a little more expensive, but for the most part, everything was like under $1. It was awesome. The next book I got, which I don't even really know why I picked it up, is The Zombie Autopsies, Secret Notebook from the Apocalypse by Stephen C. Schalzman. I don't know, it sounded cool. I don't know, it's kind of journal entry-ish about zombie autopsies. The next book is Box 21 by Rosalind Hellstrom, I believe is how you pronounce that. I'm really looking forward to reading this. This book, I picked it up and kind of read the synopsis and was like, this sounds like something I would be interested in. It is about 2 young girls who get lured to Sweden on the premise of getting better jobs, but they actually end up becoming sex slaves. So it's definitely a psychological thriller, and I did take a international psych course in college. So I actually did study about sex slaves and kind of this atmosphere, and so this book sounded really interesting and I can't wait to read it. The next book I got, I technically already have, but I have it on my Kobo, so I don't actually have a physical copy of it, and it was $1. Hunger Games by Susan Collins. I've been wanting the physical copy of the books ever since I first read through the trilogy, but they're just so expensive, and since I've already read them, I just kind of never felt like buying them because I do own them on my Kobo, but it was $1. So I finally have a physical copy of at least the first book of the trilogy. The next book I got was The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. So I've seen this movie. I haven't read the book yet, which is why I bought it. Again, it was like $1. So there's some issues with this cover, like there's some little dents in it and like some scratches, but it was so cheap, I couldn't pass it up. This next book is along the same lines. I've seen the movie, I have not read the book, and that is The Help by Catherine Stockett. So again, I've seen this movie and it was a great movie. I've wanted to read the book, I just haven't wanted to buy the book because, I don't know, honestly it intimidates me a little because it's a little big and I've seen the movie so I already know what it's about, so it's like meh. But I bought it because it was fairly cheap. The next book is Tim Allen's I'm Not Really Here. I have his other book, Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man. I haven't read through that yet. I got that one also at a book fair, so I just kind of picked it up because I figured might as well. I don't know, I'm a Tim Allen fan. I'll get to it eventually. The next book is another kind of psychological thriller, and that is Hush by Mark Nicanen? I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that right. This one definitely was a quarter. I know I'm saying that a lot and probably adding these up and thinking quarter for each of these doesn't equal $12, but this one was for sure a quarter, and it just sounds really good. It's basically about a 7-year-old boy who ends up becoming mute from the death of his mother, and I don't really know too much more about it, but it does sound like a really good book. The next 3 books I got are classics, and I got them because I don't have them in my collection, and I just, you know, why not? They were there, I was there, might as well. The first 2 are William Shakespeare books, and I got Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. So Hamlet, I'm pretty sure I read in high school. I'm not too sure. Romeo and Juliet, I know for sure that I read in high school, and I do enjoy Romeo and Juliet, so I'm really excited to finally have a copy of this. And the third classic I bought was Jane Eyre. I haven't actually ever read Jane Eyre, and I hear phenomenal things about it on BookTube. Like, everybody loves this book, so I got it while it was at the book fair and it was cheap, and maybe I'll give it a shot here soon. I also got another classic, so I take that back. I also got The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I got this because it has a really pretty cover, and, you know, it was there, you know, it's a book fair, might as well. And the last 3 books that I got are all James Patterson books that I actually do own previously, but I got them all on paperback. The first 2 are the first 2 books in the Alex Cross series, Kiss the Girls and Along Came the Spider. Along Came a Spider is actually the first one, Kiss the Girls is the second. I do own both of these on ebook, and I've been wanting to buy them on paperback to kind of finish out my collection. I just haven't wanted to pay too much for them. They were both a quarter, so together they were 50 cents. So they are now in my collection. And the third James Patterson book, and the last book I have to show you, is The Ninth Judgment. Yes, this is the hardback, and I said I got it on paperback. I did get it on paperback. I already owned the hardback, but the paperback is already being lent out. So I'm showing you the hardback just so I have a copy to show you. And that's all the books that I have to show you today. Oh my goodness, this video is long. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is a crazy big haul. I definitely wasn't planning on buying 29 books within the first 2 months of the year, especially with 0x16 and Project TBR, but I've been seeing a lot of other people posting haul videos this month, and they've been like huge book hauls, so I don't feel so bad. Like, it's okay. And that's really all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video or know anything about them, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, links to everything in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. And the next loophole was because it was on the bargain bin, and I've wanted this book for a while, and that is... Ow! I just hit my nose. And I was so excited when I saw this on the bargain brand because I would much the bargain brand. The first is Left Neglected, and that is the zombie What they end up getting themselves into is a sex... Tim Allen's I'm Not Really